world. I'm here again today to share with you some of my insights and experiences. Now, as you may have seen in some of my previous videos, I've had a chance to go to some of these political rallies. Well, they're all very interesting and high energy and kind of exciting, so I really don't mind going. But I gotta tell you, the last one I went to reminded me of when President Clinton was a candidate. I had the pleasure of seeing this outstanding American up close. Now, want you to understand that this is not a political opinion. This here is my personal interactions with these people I'm about to talk to you about. So it's my experiences, what I've seen, what I've lived, and well, I'll just share it with you. I was a student at a university, and right there in the greater Washington, D.C., Maryland area, and I was going to school, trying real hard, living on my own, working, going to school. But problem was that I could hardly afford for some of these fancy university classes. I could only take one at a time. Makes it terrible, drags it on out forever. And I just got finished going up to the financial aid office, hoping to get some government assistance or some loans from these generous organizations that like to help folks that fall into my category. So I'm waiting in line, fill out the application, and had to take some time off of work from doing this because, well, living on your own, paying for school, it gets quite expensive. I was averaging about 120 hours a week. A week, my friends, not a month, a week. 120 hours of labor. Good thing these weren't like, back-breaking jobs. I don't know how a man would survive. But most of these jobs were somewhat relaxed, so it made it more possible. But nevertheless, kind of exhausting. So I'm filling out the forms, present it to the fine folks working there, and I tried to explain to them, well, right now I'm taking about 120 hours of work, but I'm going to be reducing that, hopefully, to take more classes if I qualify for your assistance, and I'm going to be down to about maybe 60 hours, reducing my workload by half. So what I'd like for you is to consider me a part-time worker, not full-time, because understand the benefits package is a little bit different at that point. Well, this worker there, she seemed to be very busy time of the year for her and her office. And so I can understand some of the stress and some of the high frustration that you get under, especially people asking some silly questions. It's kind of like working 60 hours and asking for part-time to be considered. So I filled out the form and gave it to her, and she looks me straight in the eye after looking at the form and saying, "You don't qualify for nothing." I was like, nothing? You're telling me there's over 30,000 government and private sector assistance programs out there, and I do not qualify for not one of them? And she said, that's correct. I was like, thank you for your assistance. Anyway, I hope you have a nice day. I stood up, shook her hand, walked on out the door. Seen two friends of mine just waiting right outside the door there. I was like, hey, how's it going? What y'all doing? Ain't seen y'all all week. And they're going, well, we're getting in this line here also. But, we just come back from down the hill there and started to get kind of crowded. I was like, well, what's going on? I see a bunch of people heading over there. And this one person, she was from Arkansas. And she's like, oh, that's old Slick Willie. he's going to be giving a speech. I was like, excuse me, Slick Willie? And she's like, yeah, he's our governor. Oh, William Clinton, he's our governor. We just call him Slick Willie down there. I was like, well, that's an interesting nickname you got there for your governor, but then that's kind of interesting. So, governor, what's he doing here? And the other person, my other friend, he said, well, he's one of them candidates that are running for president. I was like, well, ain't every day you get to see a presidential candidate up close. Fascinating. Let me go check this out. So I wandered on down the hill, big old gathering, had a stage set up, got right up to the stage. It was fantastic. Had me a good view. While I'm sitting there, and it started to get a little long-winded, I must admit. Kind of started to drift off a bit in my thoughts while listening to the promises and his understanding of the issues. And I'm sitting there looking at some of my paycheck stub, and I said to myself, wow, if I didn't have to pay so much in taxes, I could afford to take more classes. Shortly after I said this, Governor Clinton said, I plan on dedicating the first 2 years of my campaign to giving folks that earn between this amount and that amount a tax cut, so they can do things like take care of the families and potentially take more classes. Directly. I was now paying full attention. I was impressed. I thought, wow, here's somebody that has a bit of concern for me and my struggling situation. So I even got a sign from the time. It was pick one of these up. Now, I ain't gonna tell you who I voted for, but let me just say that he struck a chord with me, and didn't have a chance to meet any other candidates. So I was so looking forward to potentially getting that tax break, and it didn't happen. Instead, I got what was described by others more knowledgeable on the subject than me. They described it as the largest tax increase in U.S. history. Now, didn't seem like the math quite added up to me on that one. I expect a tax break, got a tax increase. A little bit disappointed. Got to meet the President's First Lady, Miss Hillary Rodham Clinton, now Senator Clinton. Good for her. Outstanding individual. If I owned a corporation, I would definitely want somebody with the knowledge of the issues and the concern and the wherewithal, like Mrs. Clinton, Senator Clinton, to run that corporation. She's a hard driver, I feel. Well, I got to meet Miss Clinton one day. This was after she was the president's wife, the first lady. She took on social issues like a lot of these first ladies do, and I congratulate them for that. She took on the concerns of national health care. Now, that sounds really good. When you think about it, you're like, well, that would be just great. Everybody covered. Everybody, gonna get a Band-Aid if they need one. Like, think you fall down, they just ain't gonna let you bleed in the street. Everybody gonna get assistance. National health care. Kind of got a nice ring to it as well. So, but the problem was, at the time, maybe it wasn't a problem, maybe it was a bit of insight. But the folks that I hung out with, they tended to be a little bit on the financially conservative side, but yet socially inclusive, if you can kind of picture that type of group. So, learned a lot from them as far as economics go, and the way things work economically throughout the world. Can be interesting stuff at times. Well, they ran the numbers. They looked at her program. They got the books. They studied them. Exactly what direction Mrs. Hillary Clinton's national health care would take us in as a country as far as taxes go, because it does got to be paid for. Them doctors, they don't work for free. They like their luxury cars. It's a little bit of a thank you for them years of medical school. So we do this. Well, they ran the numbers, and they were convinced that her system would put us into financial straits. It would be devastating economically for the world and the nation and the individual to have such high taxation under this program. Now, we all supported the idea, but not necessarily her idea. You got many ways of going about things. You can, maybe more than one way to skin a cat and provide them with a Band-Aid afterwards, national health care. So, we were like, well, what are we going to do? We even tried hyper-radial mathematics. It kind of works off the laws of probability and statistics. Yeah. And even that didn't work out. We were all like, this is going to be a mess. This is going to be just going to mess things up here. People just ain't going to tolerate this level of economic stifling with this high taxation to support this program. So, we had gotten word that Mrs. Hillary Clinton, the First Lady, was going to be out campaigning. She was going to go down to Baltimore, and she was going to give a little bit of a rally to raise support of this national health care plan of hers. She'd been out for a little bit, but some opposition was starting to build as well. But I feel that where she was going, she probably felt that she'd be welcomed with open arms, that it was going to be a friendly crowd, and she could just kind of, raise her ambitions for the program as a whole there and get some national media attention while at it. So we decided, we said, maybe we should practice our freedom of speech. We do have it, freedom of assembly. Let's go on down there, meet the First Lady, and we'll just, verbally express our frustration for her program. Not being rude, disrespectful, nothing like that. We'll just merely state, get a little song, something going, and just merely state, we don't want your program. So, it's fine. You're just a crazy college kid that time. And so, we went on down there, a little bit of a larger turnout than we were expecting. There are other folks in the crowd that thought the same way we did. We were expecting to be fellow Clinton supporters and maybe get a little heat from our opposition to supporting of her particular plan. Willing to argue the facts amongst the other folks there. Well, her bus shows up. Some people get out. They go around. First Lady steps out. I'm right there. A couple feet away. I have a good view. Front row. She comes out, she's smiling. It's a beautiful day. She's on the upper step there, just kind of looking out the crowd, waving, happy as can be. Well, we're out there, we start making our noise. We're like, we don't want your health care program. We don't want your health care program. Just kind of, it was a little ridiculous, but it was the same thing over and over again. Sometimes, in order to be clearly heard and not misunderstood, you kind of got to make it a little simple. So, we're just merely saying, we don't want your health care program. Some folks had signs. They're holding the cardboard signs up, saying about the same thing. Mrs. Clinton quickly realized she was not in a group of supporters. She was, in fact, in a group of opposition. I feel as though this may have been the straw that broke the camel's back, proverbially. So, her hand dropped. She She looked around, frustration. The smile dropped from her face. She looked down at me. I looked up at her, and I said, "We don't want your national health care plan." A friend of mine observed this whole ordeal, looking at her, looking at me, watch her, watching me. Mrs. Clinton turned around, got back on the bus. Shortly after that, her group of folks got back on the bus. The doors closed. She never gave a speech. She drove off. It was about the next day. She made a national announcement. She's no longer going to be promoting the national health care. Instead, she's going to be a stay-at-home mom, a wife, and she's going to bake cookies. Well, that's fantastic, because I love me some cookies. Here's a cookie right here. Chocolate chip, my favorite kind. Can't say I disagree with anybody who wants to make cookies, but it's just interesting how it worked out. Just want to present this to you. Again, I'm not an expert on the issues. I just know what I've experienced and the things that I've seen. If you'd like to comment, please do so. But understand my perspective of where I'm coming from on this. I encourage all Americans to vote. It's something that we have to do. We have to decide what our future is going to be and the direction we're going to go in. Citizens of the world, thank you for watching. Please share this channel and take care of each other. Bye now.